Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton.
I'm Charlie Neff.
And Ben Affleck's love life is getting kind of interesting all of a sudden.
I mean, he's so happy with his ex, Jen Garner, but she's got a fiance.
Okay. We're going to talk about Alec Baldwin because his reality show is being ripped by Halyna Hutchin's attorney and the family. They're not happy that this guy's going around laughing, having great time with his family.
But there's also some heavy moments too, where his wife revealed that he almost took his life.
Finally, we're going to talk about your mate, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So she is open to talking to Trump about prison reform.
Yeah, and she also spoke on the Menendez brothers and their possible career in Hollywood if they get released.
Interesting.
By the way, we are live.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, drop a little note. And our amazing producers, Wild and Branson, are combing through your comments, and we'll get to them at the end of the show.
To begin with, Ben Affleck, he was out paintballing with his ex-wife and their kids the other day, and we now have some of the footage, the behind-the-scenes paintball action, where Jen, she's looking down the barrel of her paint gun, probably at one of the kids, and Ben Affleck wraps his hands around her in an affectionate way.
Kind of an intimate hug.
Yes.
Look, they haven't been together for a very long time. She's got a fiance. We were told, I think it was months ago, that the fiance, he knows that she co-parents with Ben. He doesn't have any concern over them getting back together, even though Ben and his relationship with J-Lo totally ended in a fiery flame. And I think we've seen so many photos of Ben with Jen Garner where he is happier than usual.
Oh,
you usually see him down in the dumps, especially during the time that he was with J-Lo. He didn't like being at all the award shows and he looked miserable. But with Jen Garner, there's that sparkle.
You can see that.
Eyes.
You can see it. And I don't know if Jen Garner still has her fiance,
right.
Maybe they're not trying to get together, but they probably are. And if he sees this footage, I think you're like, this is kind of the reason I don't like you guys hanging out. It's like, yes.
You think it's going to be tempting for her?
You just have those feelings. You remember those feelings probably. The way
Insecurity.
He would be insecure, the fiance. I think
you're projecting.
You wouldn't be insecure if you saw your man or woman doing this with their ex?
Yeah, I would be like, that's an interesting moment. But I think for me, I'm secure enough where I wouldn't even make it a thing.
Because Johnny's not going anywhere, let's face it.
No. And if he hugs his ex-girlfriend, okay, go for it. Get what you need to get out of that.
Right.
But look, here's the thing. Jen Garner, I could see Ben Affleck wanting to be back with Jen, right? She's a total package. Everything's amazing about Jen Garner. But I can't see Jen Garner ever wanting to drive down that road again.
Because he's an addict and has issues and then brought those issues to the family.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the addiction stuff, which she famously helped him when he was going through that. She's always been supportive of him. She's always been there for him when he needed somebody. But I think she is focused on her happiness, hence why she's already moved on. She's engaged. I don't think they would be that far along in their relationship if it wasn't really serious.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can't see her being like, let's give this another go. I just can't.
What do you think the percentage chances are that she's...
0%.
You think 0%?
Yes.
You got to have a bit of open...
No.
0.
Yes, I'm a woman, and I know that once a woman turns her back, she usually turns it for good.
I'm a man, and...
Yeah. And you guys always go back to the well.
Well, if there's...
You guys date who you can. Women date who they want.
Right, but anecdotally, there has been quite a few women come back to this well.
I can't imagine that.
I think you might be a little mistaken.
Were you and Aaron off and on?
No, we weren't.
Being off and on is a little different, but when a woman, and I don't think you can see it in a woman, but women can recognize it in other women. we know when a woman is done. This is a woman that's done.
Okay. I'm going to put it at 30% chance
That
that they're going to get back together.
I mean, that's a low statistic.
It's 1 out of 3, Charlie.
Oh.
If I'm correct, I'm no mathematician.
Okay.
Okay, on to our next story. Alec Baldwin has a hit new reality show, which is kind of entertaining.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on. Obviously, they've been touching on the Halyna Hutchins.
Killing?
I almost said murder. Yeah, killing. It
yeah.
wasn't a murder. It was
death. Just say death.
Yes, passing
Yes.
on the set of Rust. I mean, it's sad. It's like Alec talking about like how depressed he is, and he's got like 7 kids. There's always stuff going on, and his wife opened up about how suicidal he was after the incident happened. Here's what she had to say.
He has survivor's guilt. You're involved in this thing that nobody could even possibly imagine. And so he goes back to that day. He wishes it were him. He would change places in a second. This has affected his health and his mental health tremendously.
What do you think?
I think that's fair. I think if you like accidentally killed someone, you'd go, well, if I could swap places,
Yeah.
I probably would.
I feel like if you were accidentally involved in a killing of anybody, even if you are maybe an unlikable person, I think anybody would feel bad
Of
about
course.
it and like have possible survivor's guilt. And I mean, we saw like the fires happened, right, in the Palisades and Altadena. And there was a lot of people where their houses were burned down, but then there's that one house that still stood in the middle of the destruction, and like those people were having like survivor's guilt,
Right.
not survival, but like, you know, the fact that their house
Yeah.
was the one that survived out of all those other homes. Like, so I feel like even if it's something as like a home or a property living up or surviving amongst the destruction, I think definitely if someone was killed, you could also feel some sadness and regret as well.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, he's getting on with his life. This reality show is his next chapter with his family. And there are some people who are definitely not watching. Halyna Hutchin's family. They say that it's ridiculous. Their lawyer, Gloria Allred, said the show celebrates Mr. Baldwin's joy of being with his children while ignoring the fact that Alec Baldwin took a child away from her parents. That is the painful and actual reality with which Halyna's parents and sister live each and every day.
I think they didn't watch the show. Because like the whole...
I wouldn't. I'm not going to watch
Yeah,
the
that's
show.
fine if they didn't. But then to say that it's celebrating him with his children, I don't know. They did address the whole
of course.
Halyna stuff in depth and how he felt and, you know, all that stuff. I also don't think like it's a celebration of him with his kids. To me, like it looks chaotic. Like
Of course.
the best birth control like I've ever had in my life. Hard pass. Yeah, I think, and I could see why they wouldn't want to watch it, but I could also see why they would be very sensitive
Of course.
to it.
Of course. Okay, on to our final story.
Yep.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She talked to us at LAX about wanting to discuss prison reform with Donald Trump. And also, she talked about the Menendez brothers because the Menendez brothers might be getting out of jail sometime soon.
Yeah,
and
it's looking pretty good for them.
it's a question as to if they're free, what do they do next?
Right. And so obviously we saw with Gypsy Rose's career, she got out of prison and she's written 2 novels. She's on the 2nd season of her Lifetime show. Like she got straight into like the entertainment industry. So we kind of talked to her about that. Like, do you think there's a career in Hollywood for the Menendez brothers? And she said, oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what the people want.
Are you doing Gypsy Rose
Yes.
or Minnie Mouse?
No, she has like a little quiet, like soft voice.
She does.
But she said she does think there's a big career for them, but
Yes.
she recommends that they take a beat because adjusting is very difficult. She talked about how it wasn't necessarily social media that was jarring for her. It was things like getting your driver's license, like regular things that we've already done and like experienced, but she's just now. And imagine the Menendez brothers. They've been behind bars for what, 30 years?
Yeah.
Gypsy was locked up for like, what, 8 years or so? So the difference, like I can't imagine.
The internet was barely invented when they got
the 90s.
Yeah.
So that the Menendez brothers were put in prison. So a lot has changed in society.
They could get out of prison and go on The Bachelor. They could be The Bachelors.
They really could.
What about that?
Could. Yeah,
You think ladies would be throwing themselves at him?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, they're both married. I think it was.
Oh, they're married.
Well, yeah, they're both married, but Lyle, it was revealed that him and his wife secretly separated.
Oh.
So he's kind of single, but yeah, when they get out, they'll for sure have like women, dying. Oh, wrong word. They'll have women wanting to meet them.
Right.
By the way, Gypsy Rose, she's in town. Like we got her at LAX coming in. She's in town to promote the second season of her Lifetime show. I'm doing dinner with her tonight.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
Cameras up? Cameras up?
No cameras up. No cameras up. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's like paparazzi outside because it's like one of like those restaurants where there's always paparazzi.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised either because you're going to call the paparazzi.
I am the paparazzi. Actually, no, I'm not.
Okay. Read out some of the comments, Charlie.
Okay. For the Ben Affleck, Jennifer Garner story, David said, I hope they get back together.
Same.
It would be great for him, but I don't know that it would be great for her. Richard said, Ben is so predictable at this point. The way he romanticizes the past. Laugh out loud. Yeah,
True.
He definitely is.
True.
Steph said, Ben is just realizing he never should have left Garner. She's a saint.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he left her. Ada said, Garner and Affleck are besties. She cares for his well-being, and he finally realizes that now that he's sober, they ought to be together.
Preach with all those comments.
Yeah, I think he's having regrets for sure. Alec Baldwin, for the Alec Baldwin story, Sherry B said, Alec probably has horrible flashbacks of that accident. Horrible to live with. I can't imagine.
Yeah, especially in the days and weeks afterwards. Like, how do you come to terms with that?
Yeah, that'd be so hard. For the Gypsy Rose story, Alyssa said, I pray to God that Eric and Lyle can get out of jail free.
It's a hard one, and that's why it was interesting to ask Gypsy Rose about, because is it like once a parent killer, always a parent killer, or can you reform and you're due, like, a bit of grace?
She was asked, like, are you supportive of them getting released? And she didn't really address that, like, head on. But as you know, she is like an advocate for like, rehabbing mentally behind bars. And she does think that people can change. So it seemed like she's for them getting out, but she didn't say that specifically.
I'm sorry I couldn't make that shot. I was going to be the camera guy who was responsible for interviewing Gypsy Rose. And
you had other things. You had a nap.
No, I didn't have a nap. I didn't have a nap. I had other priorities. But I love Gypsy Rose. I would have liked to bump into her.
Are you trying to get yourself invited to dinner tonight?
Oh, that's a great idea, actually.
It's past your bedtime. It's at 8. It's a little late.
Fair enough.
Couple miscellaneous comments for you guys. Rochelle said, I can't do this Valley Girl voice. Not today.
Oh,
Rochelle, where are you from? I bet I can't stand your freaking voice either.
Oh, wow. Wow, taking shots at the audience.
Yeah, sorry, Rochelle.
I love Rochelle. Keep commenting, Rochelle.
Eminem said, Charlie Cotton tried your new podcast. Really great conversation and fun questions you posed to Curtis. Used to watch Take Home Chef with my mom. Love it. Wow.
Thank you, Eminem.
Charlie's got a new podcast. We're still doing this one. Everyone was like, what happened? Are the Charlies done? No, we are still doing our podcast together. Charlie is just
branching out.
Wants to actually work, I guess, now.
It's kind of like, when a really popular band kind of has their solo career as well. It's like
solo career?
I'm branching out, I'm the JT of the group, and I'm like going to do my own solo stuff. And now I come back to the group sometimes, like for a special occasion.
Should we check to see who has more followers to determine if you're the JT of the group?
No, I'm not thirsty. I'm undercover JT.
Okay, JT is the thirstiest member of that band, so.
Well, yeah, so on the first episode we had Curtis Stone, who's a famous chef.
I love him. He's so sweet.
He's a very sweet man.
I remember you shot him in the past, and he talked about like how to zhuzh up like a rotisserie chicken.
Right.
And I revealed in that clip that my brother Donovan works at Smart and Final, and he's the head chef over there in charge of marinating the chicken.
The head chef at Smart and Final.
Yeah, and we did that on TMZ TV, and my brother has it like on his Instagram.
That is hilarious. Well, yeah, thank you, Eminem, for watching that, and everybody out there, Big Down Under, go click on it now.
Go check out Charlie's new podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's about it.
That's a wrap?
That's a wrap.
We'll see you tomorrow.